Hi everybody, it's Gemma. Welcome back to Pampered Wolf. In this video, we are going to be looking at a skincare starter kit for teenage skin. So if you have children of a certain age, if you have grandchildren of a certain age, if you don't know what to get them for Christmas, or if you just want to start them off on a really good positive skincare routine that's quick and easy, then this video is for you. So what age is the correct age to start a skincare routine? Well, there is no right or wrong answer here. It depends on the individual. So if you're noticing that your teenager or your preteen has hormones rushing through the skin, believe me, there are fireworks in this house on a daily basis, now is probably the time to start thinking about a proper skincare routine, because hormones are probably rife in the body and they not only play havoc on the body, but they also play havoc on the skin as well. Also, if you've seen some changes in the skin, if there's some slight skin congestion, maybe your teen has started to have a few blemishes, now is definitely the time to get something in place. So this is actually going to be a really quick video because I am going to give you some recommended products in here, but the key to a teenage skincare routine is keeping it really short and really simple, because anything too long-winded, they are just not going to do. I mean, if your son or daughter is anything like mine, you'll have a struggle getting them to get in the bath, let alone wash their face on a daily basis. So the first recommendation is keep it simple and keep it short, and definitely keep it gentle. I absolutely despise the really harsh, astringent products that a lot of teenagers add to their skin because they feel it's good for them. Gentle is always best, regardless of whether you have problematic skin or not. So the first products that I recommend you go out and buy are cleansers, and regardless of what age you are, I always recommend that you buy 2 different cleansers. And I hear you shouting at me, it's going to be difficult enough getting my teen to wash their face once, let alone twice every single evening. I hear you, I'm with you, but what I recommend is that you buy a cleanser that's as interesting as possible. And at my age, and personally for me with my sensitive skin, I always go for a cleanser generally that's fragrance free. I don't think there is any problem for a teenager, unless they have seriously sensitive skin, going for a fragranced product. That way it's more enjoyable to use and they'll be more inspired to use it. So go for those enjoyable products, and I will link some of those in the description box for you, and I'll mention some now. So for the superficial cleanse, which is the first cleanse, this is the cleanse that gets all the makeup off if they've been dabbling in makeup or if they're wearing any mascara. But even if you're not wearing any makeup whatsoever, this is the cleanse that's going to remove any of the surface dirt, any of the surface excess oils that your skin doesn't need. So a superficial cleanse is really important. Now, the products that I recommend are the CeraVe foaming cleanser is absolutely excellent, but you know, not that interesting to use. If you're wanting an oil cleanser, and I always recommend an oil cleanser for any child who is dabbling in makeup, especially mascara and foundation, the Chamomile Silky Cleansing Oil from The Body Shop is an absolutely fantastic one and very affordable as well. For the deep cleanse, which is the second cleanse and the one that I feel is most important for a teenager, I always like to have a cleanser with salicylic acid in there, and this is why it's so important for you to do your superficial first cleanse, because a salicylic acid cleanser cannot be used around the eye area. I mean, you can try it, but if it gets in the eyes, it's gonna sting a lot. So I always recommend a salicylic acid cleanser as the second cleanse. This is so beneficial for teenage skin because it gets really deep into the pores. It cleanses the pores out from deep within, leaving them clean, smooth, and hydrated in a very gentle way. So my favorite salicylic acid cleansers for teenage skins I will link in the description box, but just to mention a couple, there's one from CeraVe and there's also one from the Inkey List. So talking about salicylic acid cleansers, they're absolutely phenomenal for anybody with an oily skin or with a dry skin, which is why I highly recommend them for anybody with a teenage skin that's rushing with hormones. Now, I hate to generalize, Not all teenagers have oily skin. Some have dry skin, some have normal skin. It's not always a problem for absolutely everybody. Generally, when you see problematic skin in teenagers, it's usually caused by oily skin. So definitely salicylic acid cleansers will be fantastic here. So before I move on to the next product recommendation, I just want to say right here and now, if your teenager has problematic skin, if they've tried a lot of things, if this is really getting them down, and I can hand on heart understand how they feel, please get medical assistance. Take them to the doctor, take them to a dermatologist. They will be able to advise you on the products that they need, and they may give you medication to help with the issue. It may need medical intervention. So before it starts to affect their mental health, please take them to the doctor, because I completely understand how debilitating problematic skin can be. A question I get asked all the time is, are antioxidants absolutely necessary within a teenage skincare routine? And the answer that I'm going to give you is no, not really. Obviously, they're beneficial. If you can get your teenager to start using one, that's absolutely fantastic, but it depends on the teenager. I know Seth wouldn't be bothered to use that particular product first thing in the morning because it would just make his skincare routine even longer. And he's quite lazy. Beatrice, on the other hand, I know she would use it when she gets to that age because she's really interested in things like that. So it all depends on your teenager. Now, the antioxidant that I always recommend for anybody, let alone teenage skins, is niacinamide. Now, niacinamide is absolutely fantastic at protecting the skin's barrier, so it helps to retain the moisture in the skin to make your skin really, really healthy, but it also regulates natural sebum production. So if your skin is quite oily, if you do have large pores, if you do have a lot of breakouts, niacinamide will be absolutely fantastic for your skin. So there are lots of ways of applying niacinamide to the skin. You don't actually need that extra step always. Some cleansers have niacinamide in already. The CeraVe cleanser that I mentioned earlier on, the salicylic acid cleanser, already has niacinamide in there. There's also niacinamide toners. There's a great toner from Q&A that's a niacinamide toner. There's also a great one from Good Molecules that's very affordable as well. And there's also niacinamide serums that you can apply to the skin. Obviously, my favorite is from The Ordinary, but there's also some tonics and serums from Revolution as well, which are also really, really affordable and great products. The last product I recommend you buy for a morning teenage skincare routine is a really, really lightweight gel-like moisturizer with added SPF. So the reason I'm combining both SPF and moisturizer is it just cuts out one step. And the shorter the routine is, the more likely your teenager is going to do it continuously day after day after day. So one of my favorite moisturizers that's really lightweight, really hydrating, has an added SPF of 30 in there for protection is from Revolution. It's absolutely phenomenal. It's fragrance free. You don't have to have a fragrance free one if you don't want to. If your teenager prefers to have a fragrance, that is absolutely fine. But it's really, really beautiful. And it's not only great for teenagers. If you have an oilier skin, or if you're after a very, very lightweight moisturizer with an added SPF, then this is great for you too. Now, I do think that SPF is super, super important. Think of all the money you are now wasting trying to reverse the sun damage on your skin. If you'd have started an SPF at the age of 9, 10, 11, you would have saved an absolute fortune. So get your teenagers to start using an SPF on a daily basis now. They'll get into a routine of using it on a daily basis and their skin will be so much better later on in life. Their older self will really, really thank you. So that's the end of the morning skincare routine. Now in the morning, if you only want to do a solo cleanse, you can do that if you want to, but at a minimum, you need to be cleansing your skin once and using an SPF. If you want to add an antioxidant in there, you can do, but it's not necessary. So let's move on to the evening skincare routine. Again, you need to be doing a double cleanse. So use your cleansers and make sure your skin is beautifully clean, but not stripped of its natural goodness. If your teenager suffers with skin congestion, blackheads, breakouts, blemishes, or if they're worried about future blackheads, breakouts, blemishes, skin congestion, now is the time to start using a BHA exfoliant within your evening skincare routine. This isn't necessary to use every day, but I would definitely be using it at least once a week, all over the face, missing out the eye area. The one that I absolutely love, swear by, and I've actually bought this for Seth, is the Paula's Choice BHA Exfoliating Lotion, I think it is. I will put it up here for you and I'll also link it in the description box. It's such a good quality BHA. There are more affordable ones out on the market, and I'll also link those in the description box as well for you if you're wanting a more affordable option. But this one is absolutely phenomenal and does exactly what it should, which is really get deep down in those pores, cleanse those pores, whilst also being gentle and hydrating on the skin. So it's definitely not a stripping formula at all. Now, using a BHA liquid exfoliant all over the face isn't always necessary for every single teenager. It's just not. Every single teenager's skin is going to be different. However, I would still have some salicylic acid in the cupboard just in case you get any skin congestion, blemishes, blackheads, breakouts, because salicylic acid is absolutely fantastic. Just getting a tiny little bit of it and treating the affected area. That way you will really cleanse deep down in the affected area and just get rid of that blackhead, those spots, blemishes, breakouts, skin congestion, so much faster than your skin will be able to do it naturally. The last product I recommend you go out and buy is a very lightweight oil-free moisturizer. That way your teenager's skin will still be hydrated and really healthy without feeling suffocated and without blocking any pores and creating skin congestion and blackheads and blemishes that you're trying to prevent. So a lightweight oil-free moisturizer is key to their evening routine. So the bare essentials for an evening teenage skincare routine: the double cleanse and also a very lightweight oil-free moisturizer. Again, if you want to add a salicylic acid in there as well, whether it be for an all-over exfoliating treatment or whether it be for individual little spot treatments, then that's absolutely fantastic as well. So that's it for my recommendations for a quick, simple teenage skincare routine. 6 products maximum is all you need to buy, and there's a lot of personal preference in there. I definitely wouldn't recommend that you go overboard with your teenager's skincare routine, because the more products you actually ask them to apply, the less likely they're going to apply them religiously on a daily basis. So 6 products maximum, and that includes 2 cleansers, 1 antioxidant if you feel like it's necessary, and I recommend niacinamide if you decide to add that step, and an oil-free moisturizer with SPF in for the morning, and then a BHA exfoliant for either all-over exfoliation or spot treatment, and an oil-free lightweight moisturizer for the evening. And that is 6, but I've held down my thumb. That was confusing. I really hope you found this video helpful. If you have, please make sure to click the like button, click that subscribe button, and also the notification bell so you don't miss any future uploads. And I hope to see you all in the next one. Bye everyone.